different medium.
Alright, so we'll start off with Ghetto Gospel.
Jeez.
Yeah. Ghetto Gospel, the New Testament, Sam, Charlie, Chris. So the first question I have is, but yeah, actually, let me just ask you this first. Like, just actually name your standout tracks.
Shellington Prison.
Caution, Houdini.
That Jess's song as well.
Jess's song.
Halloween.
You know, Shellington Crescent is so funny now in hindsight because he says I'm Connor in this thing.
What?
As in McGregor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't get it.
So basically, Conor McGregor lost to Khabib.
But it was before that, obviously, wasn't it?
Yeah, he wrote it before it, obviously.
So Conor was the man, isn't it? But really, I'm still defining though, but I get what people are saying that he's out, but Conor's still the man because he's done everything he can do.
Oh. He's not really the man now, though.
He's lost like 4 times, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
3.
First 4.
Only twice in the UFC though.
No, I think it's just the spectacle around it that makes him not the guy anymore. Like, forget the actual UFC championships and what he has.
It's all his antics. And
It's all the antics and the fact that he got one up on his own antics is like shame.
I won up because I don't think it was one up. Man did him 10 times because man jumped out the octagon and went to scuff the whole squad on his lonesome. That man's from the mountains anyway, because it don't matter. He's from Leeds, really from the mountains.
No, but Chipmunk, he f***ed up Shellington Crescent. So.
I think they both of them.
back and
They
forth.
worked very well together.
They
went
went
that skippy flow, and they did it very well.
It felt like old school Graham again.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, let me warm up with this question. Yeah, I said if you had to select a top 3 list of artists, top 3 list of albums, or top 3 list of tracks with a strong faithful or spiritual theme behind them, which artists, albums, or tracks would you choose? Does that make sense?
So artists that have used like biblical references or...
And it's kind of like it resonates with you kind of thing. Or not even just necessarily biblical. It could be like Islamic. Could be
any
type of faith or spirituality behind it. And you feel like the artist, if you pick an artist, it's like, oh, you feel like this artist does it very well. If you pick the album, it's kind of like, oh, this is like one of the top albums that I would pick out of that. And if you picked tracks, it might be just like individual tracks that kind of like you think, yeah, this is it. Like, so if I pick an example for each one, like an artist, I would say that does it well. The blend is Common. He does the blend.
The first one that came to my head.
Yeah. Common's a good artist. That does it well. Perk. Oh, Tupac.
Yeah.
Like which? What you mean in general? Which tracks would you say? Oh yeah, Blasphemy. Yeah, that's a good one. That was good.
He has a couple. He has a lot still. He has a lot.
Only God can judge me.
Huh?
Only God can judge me.
Only God can judge me.
Lord knows.
He's got a lot. And
also I'm thinking. Yeah, and I'm thinking people with albums. You could pick Chance the Rapper.
Okay.
Like he has a good one. You could say Kanye as well.
Old Kanye.
Yeah. Or you can even say new Kanye because of. Not to pimp. The Life of Pablo.
But that was inspired by Chance though. That's basically Chance's album.
You know what Chance said? He said that on the Joe Budden podcast. He said that before he went into the project and worked on it, it was a very dark album. And then he said he worked on Ultralight Beam, and then he said he worked on things like Waves.
Yeah, they cut out his full verse from Ultralight Beam. Like the other song.
You talking about Waves?
Is it Waves? Yeah.
Because he wrote Waves. I swear he wrote Waves. Because there was a video that came out where he was just basically where he showed the Waves before Kanye's one, and it sounded like exactly the same, but it sounded like a bit better because it was Chance. I
think Chance wrote most of that album.
He said that anything with he didn't say. I don't know if he said anything as such, but he said that most of the things with the biblical stuff was his influence, and I could see that. What would you say?
No, just a song that came to mind. It's called "Giving Them Hell" by Talib Kweli.
I haven't heard that.
It's just like he questions like
existence and stuff.
No, like religion is not like the first line is that every Sunday dressing up, catching gossip at its worst. Couldn't see the difference in the Baptist and the Catholic Church. So like he was saying that when he was younger, he was a bit conflicted in between how comes religion separated. So like there's so many different types,
denominations.
Yeah, and like he was just stuff like and like other lines that go into it, and he's like taught early that faith is blind like justice when you face in time. If we're all made in God's image, then that means his face is mine. And he's like, wait, or is it blasphemy? It's logical, it has to be. If I don't look like my father, then the way I live is bastardly. Like, he's snapping on it as well.
That's it, yeah.
But it was just like general, like, and like, just for example, like when he was asking who's King James and why did he think it was so vital to remove chapters and write his own version of the Bible. He was answering, he was just throwing out mad rhetorical questions. It's a good tune.
You know what? When I listen to this back, I'm going to listen to what you said. I'm going to listen to that tune.
Yeah, it's called Giving Them Hell. It's featuring Life Jennings as well. I think he's on the hook. But that song for me was a bit like, it's similar in terms of all these questions that you have, growing up of religion and stuff.
Yeah.
And just confusion in it. Why is there's so many different...
Like pointing out the contradictions in it. Like the inconsistencies, yeah.
But it's a good song. It is a really good song.
When you said that reminded me of DMX Damon.
He's another one that does a lot of biblical.
Yeah, he does a lot of it.
Nas too.
Nas, I was thinking Godson.
Yeah,
I was thinking Godson and Streets Disciple and all that.
Just his whole vibe was very quite, like his whole, not his whole persona, but like the way it's obviously Streets Disciple, Godson, all that sort of stuff.
That was his early
Nazareth Savage, stuff like that. And he has a very like religious sort of biblical.
Yeah, that was his persona in the early 2000s, right? Yeah, like the Godson kind of. Yeah, God sent kind of.
Because he went from Esco,
Street Disciple.
First it was
Nasty Nas,
Escobar, then Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Then
Into God's Son, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or Street Disciple.
It's God's Son.
You forgot I Am.
That's Nostradamus. I Am Nostradamus. Remember he put it in one. So that was his, Nostradamus. Then he had I don't think it had.
That was like the Egyptian theme, innit? I Am. It had like the Sphinx and that on the front cover and stuff. Yeah. There's quite a few then, really.
Yeah.
Really thinking about it as well.
What without there's a few religious themes.
Yeah, and like references and stuff like that. And
even modern day, you could pick Born Sinner and Damn, that kind of thing. There's a lot. Charlie, do you have any?
No, man. I just feel like Rasta music for.
No, you can pick. You can pick that as well. Like you could say, what's the tune Movado on the Rock?
No,
that kind of stuff.
What, Messiah?
Sizzler and Jacques.
Messiah.
He has a song called Messiah, Movado.
Oh no, is that cool? Is that what the tune's called?
So I think those ones are not even. I don't even know if those are biblical. Those still got Gunman in
it. But he's talking about both.
Like proper spiritual. You're talking
like
about
Jacques and Sizzler. I'm not even too spiritual, but yeah, just old.
That vibe, innit? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob Marley. When I listen to him, I feel like I get a spiritual.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, I get a spiritual vibe from it.
I don't like Bob Marley, man. Anything mainstream,
Nah, I don't understand. Yeah, I was actually talking to a friend about this at work actually this week. Because I said, oh yeah, you don't like Bob Marley. Because he said, Bob Marley. He mentioned something about Bob Marley Day. I was looking it up. And I was like, is it his birthday? And I was thinking, oh yeah, February 6th. And I remember that February 6th is your birthday.
Yeah.
And then I was just like... So then I was thinking, oh yeah, but yeah, that friend, that same friend.
2 days before, man.
So you're saying anything mainstream you ain't messing with?
Not really like that, innit? But
I'm just like I have a very similar, but me it's like I said I messaged you in the beginning, but once you're too gone, like you're too gone for me, innit? And I can't have that bond with you no more because everyone.
Yeah.
I think the same. I think the only exception is Drake for you.
That was Drake on the come up, innit?
No, but you're with Drake now. That's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. As in, like he's saying that he messes with people at the beginning, but then when they get too far gone,
my prime one was The Weeknd. That was my one.
But
he was my guy, bro.
I
thought you left him, bro.
There was rumours of like the Echoes Falls ×2 coming out this year and dropped like a little EP. I kind of listened out for that with hope in it, but I never went back to it.
That was the main one for me. But yeah, I've got a similar view to that stuff.
Bob Marley's songs are like, they're very, very happy, innit? And like uplifting. I don't really listen to uplifting music too tough, innit?
Not that happy. It's
like,
more like
happy, innit? They're like, don't worry.
But no woman, no guy's not a happy
singing it, but I think he's singing it from like an oppressive state, though.
Yes, exactly.
It's
more like it's uplifting, but it's not happy. I wouldn't say it's happy.
It's happy, bro.
Yeah. Happy is.
You said it with your chest. You ain't got to explain yourself. You don't like him. You don't like him. It's fine.
What's it? Sizzler or Jacques will come with like, you're still taking what's not yours. Greedy now, you want more. It's just more like hard hitting. Is about to get over.
Nah, Bob Marley's definitely not hard hitting. Like let's say for example, if you take Buffalo Soldier. Buffalo Soldier, he's out in them.
No, you've got controversial songs. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it's more raw, innit? Like,
I think
the execution of it is more like hood.
So you think like Jacques is like more explicit?
More underground.
More underground.
That's
more
why
underground.
them man didn't make it to.
But they're still like
UK,
legends.
60s, 70s, yeah.
They're all still legends.
I think Bob Marley was like the cleanest of the bunch.
What about Michael Jackson?
For reggae.
No, not for reggae. But I mean, you mean you just talking about in terms of reggae? I was talking about in terms of mainstream.
Reggae.
Mainstream. Okay, reggae. All right. Well, can you guys think of any others, or should I move on to the review?
Review of what? Which one?
Ghetto Gospel.
Ghetto Gospel.
Yeah, that's the reason why I asked the question, because it's like he's incorporating his faith and spirituality into this, and still kind of keeping authentic. It's not like he's gone totally.
No, but you know the funny thing is, yeah, even though it's named Ghetto Gospel, I hear more about race, innit? And I related to that a lot. Like, what's that song?
Oh yeah,
Black Rose.
Yeah, Black Rose.
Innit?
That's like the lost song.
Jeez, like obviously he's seen the Twitter kind of outrage and that, and he's seen what girls have been saying and talking about. And I have the same sentiment exactly. Like, how can you be dissing black girls? You know, black girls in your house growing up, where you say you love them and stuff like that. It's kind of like that's the first rapper I've heard do it tastefully. You get me?
Done it tastefully.
It wasn't corny or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't corny at all.
And then he related himself with it, saying, "Yeah, obviously we got fucking privilege as a black man, but still they say I'm the same about us," kind of thing. So he brought himself into it as well. So it's like he actually does relate. So it's nice to see, but like we don't care about who his girl is or whatever, if she's light skinned or whatever. Like, we've got the tune now, so we know his stance. You get me? There's no grey area. That's nice, bro.
Do you feel like more artists should feel obligated, if they're in that realm, I mean, like as lyricists, to speak out in a similar way?
Oh no, I think
not for the same topic, not necessarily for the same topic, but like, let's say, because you know how certain people are moved for certain different things. So like he was moved for that. Do you feel like there's certain other issues that?
But there'll be somebody else that I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear like Crep's interpretation of it, because you know he's getting slated for having a lighty as well.
Oh yeah.
But they had like, let's say they had tweets saying shit about dark skinned girls. So it's like whatever they say is invalid now because you saw their true colours, whether it was 2013 or what, innit? Like, Ghetts, there's never been any kind of out.
What, did Crep have a tweet though?
One of these tweets, I'm not really sure.
Ghetts don't really have any blemishes, to be honest.
It does ring a bell. But I say, I don't think any artist is like obligated to speak on anything, man. I think music is just free. Certain times people just freestyle and that's their tune. That's their process. I don't think anyone's obligated to do anything. It's like fashion, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. But the thing is, you know, with the album, before I get into my first question, with the album, I felt as though, like what you're saying is in like, sometimes I feel as though he did it tastefully because it's like, it wasn't too overbearing with the gospel stuff, but he kind of related, he kind of brings it in.
It's like Stormzy's album.
No, blood.
It is. Stormzy.
Bro, Stormzy's thing was so corny, like 50-50, or I'm rolled.
Nah, but I'm just saying they he incorporated it.
That was so corny, bro. I heard he didn't even know any of the producers. He just showed up to a couple studios and got the best kind of sounding tracks. Like, it sounds all glossy. Nah, but the production on Ghetto Gospel sounds like...
No, I'm saying they did like a similar thing.
No, blood. Ghetto knows these producers. He says, "Yo, Spiral, put the kick and the snare." It comes back.
No, you're talking about the production process. He's talking about the theme.
It's
half and half.
But as I said, like, I didn't even get the gospel aspect from it. I got the more blackety out of it, innit? Like, even the gospel aspect was shoved down my throat.
You didn't get it like a gospel.
I don't, but like Stormzy for me is like, eh.
No, wait. No, I mean, Ghetto Gospel.
I think Ghetto's
he's saying that Ghetto
Gospel. Stormzy's though.
I think Ghetto Gospel's gospel element wasn't overbearing in it. I don't think it was. I don't think it. Even though it's called Ghetto Gospel, I think the race took precedent.
I kind of forgot.
I don't think so, because I feel as though the gospel was the main thing, but the other stuff he brought in, like as like a. He's veering off a little bit, but he brought in certain gospel elements. Like on that stuff, he says, "Lord have mercy on my brothers," that kind of thing.
To be honest, it's not too much. The theme for me was like old school grime. He kept it so true to old school grime because of the namesake, and then the race thing, and then.
But there's only one tune about race, though.
Like the feature, but he has bars in other songs.
But the main theme is gospel. Like if you look at the track list, spiritual warfare, preach. You have what else is there? I feel like I'm missing one. But Hand on the Bible, that's an interlude.
What's that track that he did with President T?
Pick Up the Phone. That one's those are like the more grime filler kind of thing. But he can't. Yeah, that's what I mean. As in, like, I feel as though there's certain things that he stayed true to himself because he still got his grime element and all that stuff. But he brings in little bits of faith in it, like little one-liners in that one tune. Like he'll say "Lord of Mercy" or whatever. Or in Caution, he'll say stuff like "God is good, God is great" at the end. Or like with, I don't even know if he said something for Purple Sky, but there's London, Halloween. All these things are like they're ghetto rather than the gospel. But then it's kind of like after what track? After Purple Sky, that's when and then he gets into the Hand on the Bible interlude. That's when he starts going into the more biblical stuff, faithful stuff. Because then he talks about next of kin and next of kin. That's another one. Hold on, let me actually bring up the track list so then I can Ghetts Ghetto Gospel. But I felt like I got like a good theme of gospel more than the race thing. The race thing felt like it was a one-off, similar to like, let's say, Pick Up the Phone was a one-off theme.
Pick Up the Phone was one of the themes of like old school grime again.
Like, yeah, old school grime
as well. Like that was a consistent theme for me. It's like keeping it intact.
I think that's the ghetto element for me.
I feel like he should have ended it after Black Rose.
That's where he did end it.
But it was like 17 songs though.
That's where he ended it.
No, Black Rose ain't the last song.
That's not
it is the last song.
It's not. There's more tracks. There's like 3 more tracks.
What album did you guys... Wait, hold on.
17
Wait,
songs.
hold on.
Spotify Black Rose is the last song.
Yeah, Spotify Black Rose is the last song.
I must have listened to the deluxe version. But there's 17 tracks.
It was the last song.
Yeah, it's the last song.
Must be listening on shuffle.
Yeah, I was thinking you're listeing on shuffle or...
I said deluxe. I'm googling the deluxe. I'm like, what? I missed 4 tracks.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Check, man. I'm bugging.
Wait, someone pull up the track list because it's not on
17 songs.
Not on Wikipedia.
It is 17 songs. Black Rose is the last one.
Yeah.
So you got it opens with Caution, Pick Up the Phone, Halloween, London, Purple Sky. Then it's Hand on the Bible. Then it's Preach, Spiritual Warfare.
Yeah,
then it goes into Houdini.
That's like grime. Well, is it grime or is it UK hip
Nah,
hop?
that's grime.
That's
grime.
That's grime for you.
Oh,
yeah, that's
then it goes into Next of Kin.
Next of Kin, that's more like it's kind of like repentance kind of thing because he's talking about how he's talking about gunning a guy that he wish he knew or whatever, one of his brothers, and then he takes on the perspective of a guy from the grave who was part of the road life. Everyone's moved on.
Oh yeah, I heard
remember that? Yeah, that one.
Even though it was conceptual and it was nice hearing like substantial like content in it, speaking about something. It's like there was no bangers, fam. Like
Houdini though.
There's no club.
So you wouldn't hear Houdini in the club?
No.
Like, if it gets there, like I'll be surprised, innit?
No, I like it when you're conceptual, but you're
making bangers
with the times. Like you can stretch your envelope so that it still corresponds with your project, but it's gonna bump the 808s of doing it.
But for me, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of like the fact that there wasn't. Because nowadays it seems like if you want to make a banger in the UK, you put like one Afro artist on the hook. It turns into like an Afro beaty kind of vibe, and that's like a common theme for me now. Every UK artist has gone down that way or like down that lane to make a banger, and it needs to be. They think that the requirements for that now is an Afro beat kind of artist on the feature, and then that kind of like just Afro swing or whatever the genre is called.
So is that just that genre though?
But. Like Chip does it, like they all do it, like everyone goes into that realm, innit, to get a banger.
Like Chip's always gone to pop, but man like Stormzy never had an Afrobeat done.
I don't want to hear it though.
Like, real grime Donnies don't really blend, innit? It is only the pop artists that are blending.
But for me, just for an example, when I heard, I skimmed through the Ghetts' one, I didn't hear any no bangers. It kind of felt refreshing that he didn't really. I was thinking, is there gonna be somebody on here and I'm gonna go, oh, that's typical, or
like
for a hit now,
like Notes or something.
Everyone reaches for Notes. Everyone, to go.
I don't think he was really going for that.
Has Ghetts even ever had a chart song, bro?
No.
That's where the whole thing.
The Sing For Me song didn't Sing For Me.
No, that flopped, innit? That's why he got dropped.
Oh,
yeah. I don't think he's ever had a hit.
One take. What about that?
That's mad.
Never had a hit.
He came back with that. That must have charted like top 4.
I think that must have charted because a lot
of hit though, is it?
No, it wasn't.
Top 40 is not a hit.
What would you class as...
Was that Ramping on the production?
Rude Kid.
Rude Kid.
Yeah.
It was a comeback single.
I make the girl.
But comeback EP, but yeah.
That comeback EP.
Yeah.
I bumped it for a while, but I don't think I heard it on the radio. I don't know.
No, I don't think Ghetts has. Not to my knowledge.
But that's the thing, though. Everybody complains about the music is trash nowadays.
Yeah.
But we still rather turn that on, you know. To me, personally.
Me, I don't listen to radio, so I can't.
You don't know because.
What they play on radio is Cardi B, Drake.
They're still playing your feelings, guys.
Are they?
Still?
Yeah. Cardi B,
Summer's over
Drake.
still.
And if it's not her, if it's not them, it's that flipping, that Camila Cabello, the one that pop star. She has that tune Havana.
Oh, that's.
But now she got a tune Young Fun as well. But even before that, it was constantly her in the charts or
LMA. They play LMA.
LMA's not that new joint. The new joint's kind of alright, you know.
Yeah,
The whole thing.
self-titled. We're gonna do that.
The tune with her, I was bumping it.
But yeah, let's get back to the review. But yeah, did this album manage to inspire you in any way? Or in the words of Reva the Diva, if you remember the incident,
that was
where she said,
I
think she said something about massaging the soul. That Ghetts manages to massage the soul. Did he manage to inspire or massage your soul? That was a funny phrase to me.
She said something about how Ghetts
allows people to be free, and express their true level of rage,
their anger.
Yeah, Ghetts amps, man. Still, when he goes off, he has you moving aggressive.
Yeah. True.
He touches you. He definitely gets to you.
His energy,
definitely, his energy is very.
Especially when he was younger.
Even now,
energy was.
I think he's grown now, though. His energy when he was younger was uncontrollable.
I think it was too much. I think it was
there was times I couldn't even understand what he was saying.
I think that's freedom of speech. But he did have have you watched the Ghetts exhibition with Akala? Yeah. Where he says, even the guy, do you remember the guy that says, "Oh, freedom of speech is your best album. It's your best album." But then he was like, "Nah. I was in a dark place."
Even more recently, because when I went to go see Kano, he opened. Well, he came out with Kano, or they did a few songs, or Ghetts did a few songs, and he was getting reloads. But bro, I couldn't understand a word he was saying. And I was thinking, it's the set pants. But then when Kano came out, it was as clear as day. So I think he still has that to go off on a tandem and go nuts, but.
He's got like a choppy flow.
I think he's calmed down a bit, and he's I think he's grown up a bit, and but I don't mind when he spazzes. But when, as I said, we went live, and it wasn't like it isn't enjoyable. It's very noisy. And but he's definitely changed up a little bit and grown more so than changed up, I would say.
Everyone's entitled to their own taste, but every time he pricks me a statement, I can find a rhyme in my own race, and I'm all types of women. Variety is okay, but society will grow shapes and tell me who's fighting with his sisters then. When the wrong brothers keep on dissing them, try and picture Justin as a little. Daddy was around, but I was raised by the women then. And aunts, mommy, black woman significance.
So you feel like he's matured with this album?
You can go through his projects and you can tell straight away.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I swear all of his projects previously have always got a diss track for someone as well, or he has
freedom of speech was
P Money disses on other stuff
on Calm Before the Storm.
You're used to that sort. So even that shows growth in itself. That where he's not really beefing no one. But the scenes kind of come together anyway right at the moment.
Everyone's trying to stick
especially
together.
them, man. Those guys that them pioneers or whatever. Those guys that have been around for time. Ghetts, Kano, Lethal B. All those guys seem to be like tight. There's no real animosity. It's all love kind of thing, which is good to see, I guess.
That is good to see. Do you feel like the fact that he's matured, it's diluted his sound, or has it?
I think it's enhanced it.
Yeah.
It's like he seasoned it a bit better. Do you get what I mean? He was moving a bit reckless before. He was experimenting before. Whereas now it's like I think he knows his flavour now, so to speak, and he just works it really well. I think Ghetts is one of the best to come out of the UK.
I think when I heard this album, I was like, he's confirmed.
Everyone goes, Ghetts is hard, but man, he goes too fast sometimes and loses his way.
You got to listen to.
But this album was actually. I enjoyed it, bro.
His content plus his certain one-liners that he would say, what did he say on the first track about in economy thinking about first class because I ain't your average male, and certain flows that he had on certain tunes like Purple Sky. Back up, his skippy flow is so
almost untouchable, bro.
Yeah, when I heard this album, I was like, this guy, his flow is probably impeccable. I was amazed. I had goosebumps when I heard it.
But you couldn't show American Ghetts though. You couldn't show a hip hop fan Ghetts.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Be what the hell is this?
You couldn't.
I think I've...
Anyone that goes over the average speed of grime, don't show them.
140 BPM.
What's the average
I'm not
speed?
trying to hear that.
Bruv, like Ghetts, like they don't want to hear Ghetts. If you ever watch them, there's a few of them guys that do reactions though, and they watch his Daily Duppy. Brother, they're just sitting there. The bars that he was dropping.
Well,
they weren't getting it.
Yeah. Oh, the Daily Duppy. Oh, that was sick.
They weren't
They
getting
had
it.
it broken down. Like,
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, yo, how can you not?
But like guys like that, Ghetts, like P Money,
Yeah.
a couple other guys, you will never show them to the Americans because they'll be like, "What the hell is this?"
They were more.
But then they've got Twister, Tech 9. They've got guys that do that as well, though.
Yeah,
do you get what I mean? So for kind of a more of a hip hop beat.
Eminem does that too. Sometimes.
Kendrick can go a little bit.
So you feel like there's a bit of a prejudice on their part?
I think Ghetts is too good at what he does, if that makes sense. Like his flow and stuff is, but he's too sick at it, and then it gets lost in if he's trying to reach a bigger market. I think we know it because we came up on grime and we know who, not Ghetts, we know Ghetto, innit?
Yeah.
So I think for us, it's like you look past that. Even though sometimes I do agree. Sometimes he gets a bit like wild, but I think if he was to expand, I think it'll hold him back a little bit because people are like, I don't even know what he's saying, bro.
People are more receptive to Rich than Gil.
Yeah, because Rich is more digestible.
Yeah.
So, where would you rank this album in Ghetts' discography? Since we have grown up on Ghetts or grown up on
It's
Ghetts,
probably his best, bro.
you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon so. It's the most cohesive,
That's one I've
anyway.
heard.
I was thinking
It's
it's
the most mature one I've heard. I would say.
I'd say for me, I would put it on the same level or better than Ghetto Gospel, the original one. The original one is... to be honest, when I actually bumped into Ghetts, I bumped into him in Stratford, Westfield once. I was like shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, oh, Ghetts. And I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm in East London, that's why. But then I was like, afterwards I kept on thinking, I should have told him that Ghetto Gospel, that is your pinnacle. Yeah, that is your pinnacle. I felt to tell him that that's album worthy, to be honest. But yeah, that's one regret that I have, that I didn't tell him that. But I think he knows. Everyone tells him. I think everyone tells him.
He gets the vibe from it anyway. But I probably think it's his best, probably. So I definitely agree. Say that it's probably his best work.
I think I already asked you this, but which tracks resonated with you the most? Which tracks would you say? 3? Yeah, I was going to say, which ones would you bang as in like, oh yeah, this is going to get me hyped? And which ones would you say are like the strongest messages?
I'm banging Sheraton Crescent.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's a must.
Sheraton Credit for me. Purple Sky for me. In terms of
I'm not
King,
gonna
I like.
Preach. I like Preach.
So you see that song? I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me down, you know.
Yeah.
Considering I know what Danilo can do, I thought this song was gonna go off, and it just wasn't what I expected. I expected Danilo to go a little bit harder.
I like that tune.
I do like it. It just wasn't what I think. My anticipations were a little. My expectation was too high for that song. Because Danilo, I like Danilo. He's got tunes in it.
Yeah.
And I just thought he was gonna come with that one.
Yeah, it's not his strongest thing.
No, it's not. So that song kind of let me down a little bit. But I'll go to Jess's song.
Jess song, yeah.
Jess song. And he surprisingly, the Slumdog Millionaire, the one with Stefflon Don.
I like that song.
I was surprised. I was like, what?
Was Stefflon? I didn't even know it was her.
Oh, okay.
Until I saw the track list.
I was surprised that I liked it, to be honest. So I got a couple, definitely. Oh, that that girl on King, Little Sims? She opened for Kano as well.
Oh, yeah.
She got booed off the stage.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Who? Little Sims.
That's deep.
She got booed.
Yeah, off the stage.
Deep, man.
Raw.
Yeah. That's been to her, but I've seen that happen loads of times. Like when I went to Tory Lanez as well, he brought out one of his guys, but he's whack. He got booed off the stage. People are throwing stuff at him. Yeah. It was so awkward.
What, Tory Lanez?
No. Tory Lanez, this guy. He brought like it's like, I've seen near enough every concert I've been to, warm up wise, they never get a warm reception, bro.
That's deep.
No, because the crowd's not there for them, to be honest.
To be honest, if you do get like a warm reception, you've done well.
Yeah.
But okay, remember Nas? Remember Nas? He was supposed to have Meek Mill.
Yeah.
That would have went off.
That would have been so sick.
But he had 2 Chainz and Iggy Azalea. It was a bit like
2 Chainz is alright.
2 Chainz is alright. Iggy was whack though.
Yeah, I remember that.
J. Cole was good as well. He had Janae and Pusha T.
Pusha T, yeah.
It was good, bruv.
That's crazy to think Pusha T opened up for J. Cole.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, Little Sims got treated disrespectfully. She was like, she even said it like, she was like, I ain't getting shown no love. But you know when you go at the crowd, you know they've got to you. It's like she just lost her head. And she couldn't really
she was angry.
continue after
Was
that.
she angry?
Well, you was on the show.
Yeah, well, I went to see Kano. She warmed up.
That's deep, man.
She's trying to get everyone bouncing. She's like, "Come on!" Everyone was like, "We're not here for you, B." No one was vibes in.
That's crazy, man.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially since she's talented. Though.
Yeah,
I like
she's alright still.
I like her.
I couldn't
That's
believe
probably
it.
why.
I can't believe it. That's what you.
That treatment's bad.
That's probably why she went to the US.
It wasn't as bad as the Tory Lanez one though. His guy tried to fight people in the crowd. Like, it was embarrassing. I was like, stop it. But I did my research on him. He actually wasn't that bad. It just wasn't his. That wasn't his vibe, innit? He wasn't there. We weren't there for that. But his songs are actually okay. Checked him out. He's got like 4 or 5. He's like an R&B guy. It was decent. He was actually quite good.
Alright. So yeah, let's get back to the album. Who would you say, or what would you say are Ghetts' musical influences when hearing this? Because in the Ghetts Exhibition interview, he said that once he heard Jay-Z spit something, he was like, "Oh yeah." From then, that's when he started using that flow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What, that choppy?
Yeah. He said that he got it from Jay-Z. I was thinking, oh, swear.
That's
And he said, I think he said Wiley as
isn't
well.
it?
I think I can't remember. He said something about Wiley. But, yeah.
Nas is definitely.
He said
I
Nas
reckon
is one of the influences.
He was talking about Biggie, Puck in his album.
Oh yeah, on Spiritual Warfare, he was talking
Spiritual
about
Warfare,
yeah.
Yeah, he was just questioning like a lot of things on that.
On that one. That's what. Yeah, I like that track. I feel like that's one of my top, like, more introspective tracks. That
Yeah.
Black Rose and what's another one? Can't remember. Introspective.
Next to Kin, No Love.
What? Window Pane. Window Pane. Yeah, that's the third one. Yeah, Window Pane. But yeah, influences. Because the reason why I asked this is because a friend of mine said that he felt like he heard a lot of Kendrick on this, like the way he uses his flow and stuff. I was thinking, really? I didn't get that impression.
Going from this album and just if you just listen to this album, I don't think are you able to get a sound who he's inspired by. To be honest,
That's a good thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You think that's a good thing?
It's it sounded like not unique, but like it is unique to Ghetts. Obviously, so Ghetts has got his name and his sound, innit? So I wouldn't really pick up on anybody's influence on him blatantly. Maybe if I rock with the album for a year, I might pick up something like subconsciously and think, oh, okay, I hear that from someone else. But not noticeable if there is one. Anyway,
that's a good thing because it shows that you're your own person, really.
Quite original.
Yeah, quite original. What would you say is the role that Ghetts has occupied through this album or through his past work? Would you class him as top 3 selected or Grime Goat, something like that?
What, in the scene? Yeah, 100%.
Grime Goat.
Not mine.
Not yours.
Not mine.
But he's a contender.
Yeah, he's up there. He's top 5, 100%. But he's not mine. He's not better than Kano.
I think it's always gonna be between him and Kano for me.
There's a
lyrically.
Yeah.
I think Kano's a little bit slicker. So tiny
Who's
little bit.
But I feel like the thing is more engaging. Ghetts for me is more engaging than Kano.
Yeah, it is. Too.
He's more engaging for me.
Yeah, no, it's always going to be a toss-up between them, but I just think that Kano just has as I said, he's just a bit more glossy, he's a bit more slick for me. That's my... And that just leans me towards him a little bit. Ghetts is still quite rough and rugged.
Kano hasn't made a good song since This Is the Girl, fam.
You clearly didn't hear his last album then.
Made in the Manner, you didn't hear it?
I heard it.
And there's not one good song on there?
No, bro. It's so, slow, man. It's slow. He's slow.
It's melancholic. It is a melancholic album, though.
Why am I trying to ruin my day? I'm trying to turn up. I'm not trying to...
But the thing that's...
sit on the brick.
You know what?
Man said, you're not trying to turn up, but on them songs, there's a couple of songs, Free Wheel Ups.
Oh
my goodness.
And that's something Rude Boy. That thing where you done on the choppy video with all the Snapchats. Come on, man. That's a banger.
Yeah.
And I've heard it live as well, so me and you talking, you might as well stop talking now. You get what I mean? I've seen it live, I've seen what it does, bro.
Yeah. Free Will Ups.
I've seen man get toppled onto the floor like it's a mosh pit, bro.
Yeah, but I'm sure KSI can get a crowd going. Because I mean, it's a banger.
Who?
KSI.
Oh, I'm not too familiar with it.
No, the YouTube.
You're not missing that. You're not missing
I'm
that.
sure he can get a crowd mosh pitting. Doesn't mean it's a banger.
But
I think you're over 18 though.
No,
His
not
fans are like 10 and 11.
What about the Grime Skank? Grime Skank?
Garage Gang.
Garage Gang. No? That's a banger.
No way, bro. How are these bangers?
They're tunes, bro.
Tunes, bro.
Not saying that it's charting. I'm saying that, like, what could like potentially.
But Ghetts charted with that.
Did he chart?
Yeah, 100%.
Not Ghetts.
Sorry, Kano
okay,
charted
yeah.
with that 100%.
Bangers to me are like Skepta Energy with Wizkid, or
But Skepta can't talk to Kano or Buzz
That's a banger.
like what's it? The old veterans don't know how to make bangers, bruv. Kano included.
You mean when you say
Shut
banger,
Down
you
was
mean
a
as in?
banger. Shutdown was a banger.
Shut Down is a banger.
Skepta song.
Yeah, Skepta.
I mean, when I say banger, I mean either it is a banger actually, or it's potentially a banger. As in, like, if people gravitate towards, people could gravitate towards this, and it'll go off. Like, it has the right elements to be a banger as well.
To me, it's like replay value, man. Don't know, man. I think the bar's quite. I don't know. We set the bar quite low for veterans when it comes to the actual songs thing and grime in general as well.
But that's a UK standpoint though. There's nobody that's gone clear in the UK. There's nobody untouchable. The UK doesn't have a Jay-Z.
Yeah, we don't. So.
They don't even have a Kendrick.
They don't have a Nas. They don't have
anyone like that. They're all in a middle pool. There's a few elite guys, but the UK on the whole is very stagnant in the middle. There's a lot of middle.
We ain't got the markets that the US have. That's where they got. Like, they're worldwide. Like we're just like international.
Nah, that's true, man. But there's certain men out there that make bangers, like Skepta. Like I like Nave Smalls, what he's doing. He makes your own bangers. Like there's men out there that make bangers that.
Nave Smalls, like, need to be.
I ain't really heard too much from Nave Smalls though. As
you need to be high.
I haven't heard him.
Just that kind of wavy stuff,
or like Young Folk.
Kinda. Quite auto-tuning Nave Smalls, isn't it?
Yeah. Melody, innit?
Yeah, melodic. So you have to be in that sort of vibe anyway. I won't slap him on now. Do you get what I mean?
But that jumpy tune, is that not a banger, bro?
That's a banger, yeah.
That's a banger, yeah. That's
No, we're not.
The one with Chip.
Yeah, but the remix is better than that Garage Gang.
Yeah, but obviously there's a different degree of banger. But it's like...
Yeah, just because it's a better tune don't mean it discredits Kano's.
No, not even that. I'm just trying to bring examples just to kind of...
But no, I get what you mean. That's why I said like, there's an actual
example,
banger.
you name Skepta with bangers, but Skepta can't touch Kano as an artist. That's a fact.
But that's what we say. What are we talking about now? We're just talking about...
That's what I'm saying. So how do you...
Who tells smart stories or who has bangers? I'm on the banger side.
But banger doesn't mean you're a good artist either, though. So you might have one banger and that's it.
I think it does mean you're a good artist. Like, no, because I've named more than one, though. I'm not saying one-hit wonders. I'm not naming any one-hit wonders.
Okay, so is there anyone that makes bangers that we wouldn't rate as an artist? Because I'm thinking
from where
UK or US. Oh, UK, just UK.
US is easy. You can say like Uzi.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
UK.
terrible, that new Protect for the
I don't rate Skepta as an artist. Me
I
personally.
do, bro. I do.
That I can't handle the nursery rhyme scheme.
I used to be like that, and then I understood what he was doing.
I still don't understand it.
I understand it.
I deeped it.
I like
Jamie's even worse.
Jamie's worse.
He's worse.
Jamie's the worst ever.
When he first came out, he was bad.
Jamie's banner.
No, but
Yeah,
sometimes
I
I
don't
think he
think he
takes
is.
himself seriously.
So serious.
Even
No
one of
pun
his albums,
intended. No pun intended.
Even one of his albums is serious, bro. So I think he actually takes himself serious.
When he first came out, he was hard. Do you know what I mean?
Like, even Chip's making better music than Kano, to be honest.
We'll get onto that still.
I can't even be angry at that.
That's what I mean. Like, there's man them that make better tunes, but they just don't get the credit because they're not as old or didn't come out first. Like, after...
But if anything, it's harder for Kano because he's older. The kids ain't gravitating towards a 38-year-old man.
I hear that.
You get what I'm saying? Kano's been around...
He's 38.
He's in his 30s. He's in his 30s.
He's 38.
He's in his
He might
30s.
be 38.
Nah, it's like
The man should have never coined no number, blood. Because when they actually turn
that number, yeah, it's different.
How old is he? I might be exaggerating a little bit. He's in his 30s.
33.
33, but still.
I think Ghetts is
Gets the same age. Gets the same
No,
age.
blood, because if you had a banger, I'm telling you, the kids will gravitate. It's not about how old you are, it's not about who you are. Like, see, Biz got the streets talking. How old is he?
50. He's like
Is that probably around the same
30,
age?
late 30s, I think.
Like, it's not about who you are anymore.
Mid 30s.
Like, Baka, how old is he? Obviously, he got Drake, but still.
Alright,
It's a got a banger.
Alright, so let's get back to the thing.
Not nice.
Yeah, so we'll move on to the deeper question. I was gonna ask, do you feel as though the deeper tracks were sincere, or do you feel like they were pandering to certain demographics? Like, you know, you have a cancer tune, you have the gesture.
No, it was all real.
They're all real. You shut that thought down.
They're all real experience. I didn't get no fake.
I think it has to be one and the same.
One and the
You
same.
have to market your album for people, and at the same time, you have to talk about what you can genuinely write about.
But is that pandering though?
I think you have to do, if you want to call it pandering is like what, an extreme sense of it, but you keeping it in your marketing mind is like common sense, I guess.
But you can tell if the song sounded forced or if it sounded like he was trying to pander to them.
No, for me, I'm just bringing up the thing is I don't believe that you were pandering. I don't think I'm just bringing it up just in case. Yeah, I'm just bringing it up just in case there were
And that,
different.
even that Jeff song, like I don't know, I didn't work out who it was. Do you know who it is?
It's just one of he said it. In
One of his friends.
I think it's one of his friends.
Yeah, because he was like, he named a few people, and from her when he was talking from her perspective, and he was like, "Ghetts is my high when I'm low." So like, there's definitely personal, personal ties to the song. So I didn't feel that it was fake or forced at all.
No, I didn't feel like it was.
But then, how would it's a good artist? You wouldn't be able to tell. Do you get what I mean? If you were a really good artist, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was fake or if it was real.
Yeah, and that's when it just comes down to trust, really.
But for me, it felt legit. It felt legit.
All right, I'm going to move on to Black Rose. I was going to say, do you feel like the existence of colorism indicates a lack of self-acceptance and or self-love, or is, as Ghetts says in the song, everyone's simply entitled to their own taste?
Define colorism for me, though, please.
Colorism,
because I've been hearing so many explanations
this is where I
and meanings on social media thrown around. You know, everyone's talking about it at the moment. So I need to know the right
to be
before
honest,
I open my mouth and say something.
It's like racism within your
race.
Within your race.
as in, like, let's say, for example, hatred towards...
So black on black hate and that.
Like different shades.
hatred towards a different shade.
So a lighter guy, a darker skinned guy hating on a lighter skinned guy.
For no reason, for no actual...
For no reason.
just
for
because
him being light.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or vice versa? Can it be vice versa?
It can be vice versa.
anyway.
Yeah, it can be either way. But, of course, it's like race...
So
to me, like, racism can be either way.
But
But,
then-
it's because, let's say, you wouldn't say that a light-skinned person... Well, you wouldn't say that a dark-skinned person... No. A dark-skinned... Yeah, wait, what? Oh, yeah, you wouldn't say that a dark-skinned person is colorist to a light-skinned person because they're not the ones that are kind of attacked as much. But I feel like it's kind of even because the way people talk about light-skins...
I don't think it's... Well, I don't know.
They say, like, oh, the
It's
light skin.
variable, yeah.
No, not in a good way. Like, in a way that it's like, oh, he's talking light skin, or like it's because he's light skin. You know what I mean?
But
so I think it goes.
That used to get flipped because back in the day, it was everyone like light skin's always been a thing. But I don't know if it's now because obviously I'm a little bit older. But it was always like light skin. Oh, you're right. You're talking light skin. Or why are you moving light skin for? Are you moving buff? And you just assumed it was you talking about someone else.
That's a term of endearment, though. It's not the same level, like.
But now it's getting flipped. If someone says to you, "I took a light skin," nowadays someone's gonna jump out the window and say, "Oh, why are you being that colourist to me for?" Do you get what I mean? I think a lot of people are getting soft in their old age as well.
Soft, isn't it?
I think a lot of people are getting a little bit.
that the other day.
Their emotions on the line now.
Someone saying, "Oh, you're acting light skin because you're not replying."
That's
That's
bad.
saying, "Oh, you look like a cockroach because you're a dark skinned girl." Like, there's levels.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild,
That's
though.
different.
That's different still.
Like, that's the combos that go around, and like, there's definitely levels to it. So I don't think it's leveling out, and I don't think either are always right. Obviously, there's one more severe. What can you do, man?
Yeah, one more severe. You're talking about light skin towards dark skin. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm just
Oh, you mean that?
Generally.
Oh, you
dark
just mean
skin
in general.
So it doesn't have to be like light skin towards dark skin.
It's just colorism in general. Okay.
Could be Asians. Could be.
Okay, so you mean like something like a prejudice or a bias?
I think dark skin people have more in the world. Yeah, more
Like
people against them. Let's say.
Because in certain places in Africa as well, the light skin is hunted. Like, the lighter Nigerians, they're like almost like an albino.
Albino, that's a different story though.
But that's because they're light.
Isn't that colorism though? That's still
like,
colorism.
that's like they think they're ignorant in it. They think they're spiritual demons, or they think.
But because of their light skin, though.
Yeah,
but it's not like light skin like
That isn't the main.
Igbo, like
People are more likely.
but that is. But
you won't hunt them.
But I feel
That's
like that.
wrong,
No,
though.
I feel like that's still colorism because you're basically hunting down someone based on
The fact that they're not the same as you. Maybe,
Exactly.
I know that there's a deeper meaning to it, but looking from the outside, they're only seeing the white skin and the albino. You get what I mean?
It's not colorism. It's because you're looking at the kind of like what.
Whatever is it? There's more to it. I get what you mean. I get what
But
you
the
mean.
thing is, but
you have a disease, you have a lack of something in it.
But the thing is, who's to say white people didn't think that? They thought, oh, we had a lack of civilization. That's why they colonized us.
No, just what I'm trying to say. Like, you can have a light skinned person that's the same shade as an albino, and you're not going to hunt both of them. The reason you're
It's the
hunting
disease.
the
You're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
it's
I get what you mean.
the
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
So it's not colorism because
It's not right, regardless.
But I swear, is there any light skinned people that are the same color as albinos? Like,
Got Joanna,
Yeah.
like, you're even lighter than albinos.
No, I wouldn't say lighter. But yeah.
But it's just that albino has such a distinct look about them also as well, and like the hair
eyes,
as well, the eyes. It's more it's more than just the skin tone.
Yeah.
But
It's to do with their blood, isn't it? Like their blood. It's something to do with their blood cells or something.
I'm not too sure.
That's
But
what
I'd still say that it's like a discrimination, regardless. It might not be colorism, but it's still discrimination and it's still wrong. I'll say that. I'll finish there.
So what was the question, sorry? Now that we got the meaning of colorism.
Yeah, so does the existence of colorism indicate a lack of self-acceptance and or self-love? Or is everyone simply entitled to their own taste? As in, like, you know, when you... Yeah.
Own taste as in, like, you like what you like.
Because Ghetts said, oh, I see... In Black Rose, he says, everyone's entitled to their own taste. For me, I feel as though this goes beyond taste. It's not about, oh, just what you like or what you...
It's how you go about it.
And it's how you go about it.
You can't discredit somebody and like them. You just like them because you like them and nothing else. You get what I mean? There's no other side to it. You can't tweet like, oh, I don't like dark skinned girls, and then your next girlfriend's light skinned, because you're gonna get caught up in the whole.
You're black and you don't like.
You can like a light skinned girl, but just don't be talking crazy about anybody else. Do your thing, but just be human at the end of the day. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, be respectful.
Yeah, don't be. You can't criticize another like a shade or whatever, another color, and then go with the opposite, because you're just feeding their agenda as well. Because there is an agenda as well. Let's face it.
Agenda.
Yeah, like the way that Crep's getting flack.
What do you mean, like, outrage?
Yeah, and not just him. Who's the other guy as well?
Why? Because they're going for light skin girls.
What are you talking about? Stormzy?
But his girls,
girls black though.
But they're bad. Their girls are.
Nice.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Unless these guys, after I don't know about them, Stormzy talking crazy about dark skinned girls, saying I don't like them or whatever. What's wrong with him having she's half Somalian, I swear.
But didn't she say...
Maya Jama, now she's half.
Didn't she have some like racial comments?
Yeah, she was moving wild a few years ago.
Yeah, years ago. A lot of people were...
I guess you gotta watch what you tweet. You're never gonna know who's become famous and who's not. They're scrolling back on your TL, bro.
Poet was saying some more stuff as well.
Was he?
But I think he's corny now anyway. Regardless.
Talking about nappy hair and...
No, he apologised profusely on his...
he has to because he's blunt, but I think he's corny anyway, man.
No,
bare people were just moving mad back in like old
He just says things because just to say them.
But you know what? You know what it is, yeah? I think, like, I come from a weird kind of place because, like, I like dark-skinned girls. And for me to say that would be the same as someone saying I like light-skinned girls, isn't it? And obviously we'll look at that one as...
Do you think there's anything wrong with saying that, though?
People say the light-skinned one is wrong, but people wouldn't necessarily say mine is wrong.
Why is that?
Think either, isn't it? And I'm saying...
So that's normal, but light-skinned girl isn't.
But then at the same time, the world view of the black girl is a bit different to the one of the light-skinned girl, innit? So you take in a different perspective and you take in context and then you see why, innit? But then at the same time, if you take it for face value with just two people with different opinions, then it's face value. But with context, just opens up a big conversation.
It's like a deep hole, bro.
Yeah, because I asked my little brother.
How old is
like,
for the record?
He's like 18.
Okay.
So
he knows a bit then.
And I said, what? You lot only like light-skinned girls in this house, innit? I'm going to be the only one with a dark-skinned baby. So the cousin's team, mine's going to be the only dark-skinned one. Fair enough. We've got like 3 nephews and nieces already, and they're all light-skinned. And then just said it, like, he's not on Twitter, he doesn't know about these debates. He just said...
You don't use social media?
Nah, nothing, but he's just a little trader, that's it. But then he just said, yeah, light-skinned people look better, man. He thinks one day everyone's going to just be light-skinned because that's what they're attracted to. You're going to be with a white girl or a light-skinned girl. And he just said that they literally look better. And he's saying he's not dissing nobody.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. There's no agenda behind it.
He said he's not dissing mommy, he's not dissing my sister. He's just saying, yo...
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's just an opinion of what he likes.
I think that's more taste, like what I'm saying.
There's nothing wrong with taste, but it all depends on what you said. That you can't criticise dark-skinned girls and then go and be with a light-skinned girl because it's looking like you're just doing the most to get everybody. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, you're a troll.
But yeah, exactly. But from your brother's, like, he don't know. Like, he's not doing it from like a... I say you don't know about these debates, so he doesn't even know that it's an agenda. Do you get what I'm saying? He's doing it just off his own. I prefer light-skinned girls. That's it. No context. That's just what he likes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But that's the trade. I don't know. That is a train of thought, innit? And I know a lot of
something
guys
must have
think like that as well. A lot of guys think like that as well, innit? And it's like
A lot of guys from ends.
I'm not Jojo's brethren, you get me? I'm coming from the standpoint of his big brother. I
Yeah.
don't know what he's telling his brethren. I don't know what he could be saying potentially.
There could be another. Yeah.
You feel me? Like, nobody ever knows, and he's always behind closed doors. It's the same when we talk about other cultures. Maybe someone's doing an Indian curry next door, and your mum's talking reckless, saying you're just smelling up the house, and then some little bit of racism comes out, and then it's like, all right, so
The realness of that statement,
even though
you know it's true.
even though you're dark skinned, you're still prejudiced against Indian people. Let's say white people. Let's say badmouth them when you come home. We've got some friends that just constantly saying stuff about white people, like colonizer, etc.
But then they use their hair and their products and that.
Everybody has this, and everybody experiences it. It's just so weird and complicated. Like, you're part of your group and you like your group, but then I don't know, bruv. It's weird. And then you want to talk about the other group, but then get offended when you actually hear the other group talking about your group, but you're not going to tell them what you said about their group. It's like, well, what?
That reminds me of a scene in Insecure. Well, I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like, everyone has, like, I think I watched Hidden Colours, and they said that everyone's prejudiced to a degree, or biased to a degree, but not everyone's racist.
Do you agree?
To a degree, but not in a malicious way. Like, certain comments that, let's say, a black person will say, "Oh, that's white people. That's what white people do." You know what I mean? Or that's like, Indians. That's what they do. Like, as in, like, let's say if they're very, what am I thinking? Or like, let's say, I don't even know if this is
But
racist.
is that cool to say though? Like, that's white people.
Now it's because I said,
but flip the coin. If I say, that's black people, I'm gonna get strung up.
yeah, but I think the reason why
get strung up.
I think that's the reason why that's the case is because of the history behind
And the
it.
same as well, like, you know, like how people talk about black excellence. If I said white excellence, I'm getting strung up.
When you say white excellence, like, in my head, like, Southern America popped up, King pops up.
No, but
Hitler pops up.
Saying white excellence is
No, but do you hear what I mean? Because but why isn't black excellence funny though? Do you get my point?
No, because we're struggling.
Oh my days! Yeah, it's because we're struggling, so then we have to uplift ourselves. But it's like,
It's like
all we see is white
when you're in class,
excellence.
yeah, and the youth that doesn't normally talk is getting bare praise from the teacher.
But listen,
you said
listen.
excellent job.
But you're not-
It's because they don't normally do good.
But like, hear what? No, but people are forgetting, yeah, bro. Like, you know, like when people's families came to this country, bro.
Yeah,
No blacks, no dogs,
yeah.
no Irish. My family was getting the same.
Why?
We was the same.
Very Irish.
Yeah. So people forget.
Similar.
Okay, similar.
Yeah.
But that's why you always see an old white guy, old white guy, like your granddad's age. He's always got a black brethren, bestie, always, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like Patrick and Jim and
Right, exactly. So when people black, bro, like you always because when they back in the day, in the 40s, 50s, 60s, they
Why don't they
couldn't
like the
work.
Irish? So let me ask that.
Yeah.
Why?
They didn't even like the Irish.
It was just like it's the same thing. Like they didn't like
Different
Italians as
No,
well.
but if you go back, was there a war or something where you might try to get all the land and it didn't work? It kind of
So it's too small for that. But
Maybe
we
it
ain't
was
got no.
because I watched a lot of these things in it, and the Vikings kind of went from Finland all the way to Scotland and then to Ireland, and they populated
Norway.
well.
They held Ireland under slavery because the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Irish were slaves because
So it runs a bit deeper.
runs deeper.
It's
but-
like white history. That's like stuff I can't understand.
But you know, like, so what the point I'm making is, like, Irish people have been oppressed as well, but you just see white. You don't see.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
No,
there's certain people's family that have had it Irish that have been.
Yeah, but we can't come and tell the white people how to treat their fellow white people. We're here to tell them how to treat us. Like, that's the thing. That's what, like, I don't know, maybe you're around black communities, so you hear the black voice a lot, but I know there's loads of white people out there that I haven't heard the black voice, and they won't hear people complaining about the prejudice towards black people, and they just think that's normal. Like, what do you mean? You're not allowed in our shop. That's calm.
I think the thing is, I think the difference between like the prejudice to Irish people and Italian people or whatever from the English and their relationship with the Africans is that the history is much more severe towards the Africans because it was slavery. But with, let's say, towards Irish and stuff, it's probably like a war. It was just probably like a war over land or something like that. So it was like more on level ground. But with the slavery thing, it's more like direct oppression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why there's like different degrees of like, oh yeah, like, I forgot like what you said. Like I forgot how to relate it to what you said first. But I think that's why there's different degrees of, oh, this is more severe. You get what I mean? Yeah.
And we're still going through it today. So
actually, that makes an interesting point. The same way black people aren't here to tell white people how to treat other white people, like the Irish and Italians. No, I forgot my point.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me, man. But yeah, I don't know if you guys want any concluding thoughts.
But I just want to say, like, but the white people do go into Africa and tell the governing bodies what to do, innit? So it's just a bit like, it's frustrating. Like they have a grip on everything.
But out of the African countries, how many governments are corrupt? How many governments are corrupt?
Most of them.
Most of them. Yeah.
So are they going in trying to actually help?
No, because it's like you come in.
I'm just asking. I know the answer.
So
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the question.
Like you messed up the economics. We're picking up the pieces. Everyone's trying to get what they can. Can't lie to you. It was colonized like 50 years ago. Like when I was a youth, we belong to you lot. It's a free for all now.
That's why we get our independence, isn't it?
We don't have time to work out the kinks. It's been 50 years. Like how long has the Western world had? Thousands.
But do you lot still receive prejudice today or racism in yourself? Not as black people.
You mean
I mean personally.
What do you mean?
Like
do
you yourself, do you experience it still?
Oh no. In Britain, I've never experienced it.
That's what I was going to say. Where we live, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
I'd say that maybe
because round here, it's like everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the same everyone's the same social aspect. Everyone, council estates, council, like everyone's the same. It's just that's why you know, like Fat Joe as well. He always used to get in trouble for saying the N-word. But he was saying, like.
We're all
he's like, I'm blacker than most. That's exactly what he said. I'm blacker than most. But he was like, because obviously he even had his people. He's from Puerto Rico as well, so
and
that's technically Caribbean if you want to class it as that. Technically, let's not get technical though.
Yeah.
It's long.
So he's got black uncles and all of that.
Black cousins, black cousins. Like, he's from his trail is from a black man, isn't it? It's just that the Puerto Ricans get. And they mix it up and they get lighter and lighter. So he said he's blacker than most.
His Cuban side is
because he's from the Bronx, isn't it? So the Bronx is black. So what culture are you going to grow up?
You're black. Yeah.
But it's either black or Hispanic or Puerto Rican. There's no other mixes. So he's basically a product of his environment, which is what happens in Harlesden, Willesden, Stonebridge, Churchill, Kilburn. Everybody, that's why nowadays it's not, you know when people before were like, oh, why, remember when people used to go, oh, why are you acting black? Remember?
Do people say that?
Yeah. Well, to me, maybe. Because I'm
acting. Oh, you mean like that?
But
okay.
How do you want me to act?
You act black.
Not to say that, but what is acting black then? Do you get what I mean?
That's what I used to say. But thinking like how are you acting black?
People say to me, not all the time, but I have, like, what do you want from me though? Yeah. Like everybody I know on the estate is black. Everything I do with people,
they're
black
about
people,
your mannerisms, isn't it?
Exactly, but I can't help that. You're a product of your environment. You can't help that. So
you're going to pick up
all the traits. I didn't grow up in middle class Essex or middle. You know what I mean? I grew up in Harlesden, bro. NW10, day one, all now.
Yeah.
28, almost 28 years. What am I going to be?
To be honest, that's why I don't really mind when, like, I don't see you as acting black. I just see you as acting like someone from here.
Someone from
the bitch.
So yeah, exactly. So
I think it was more of an issue back then, but now it's like.
Yeah, now it's cool, more accepting.
But I don't see why though. Like, because back then I was doing the same things back then that I'm doing now.
You know, back then I think also we were trying to find ourselves in it, and our culture wasn't that immersed in British culture yet. So
it didn't have a big hold on it. Yeah, I get what you mean.
You could still see the distinction back then, but now it's like, yo, you don't know what's a Top Man shirt, or you don't know what's going to come out of Trapstar. You don't know if it's for Skepta. You don't know if it's for Mabel. Like,
yeah. So it's universal. Yeah, it's pretty much like
All right. Let me end there, yeah?
That was a good session still.
Pic.Think, thinking through media.